So the JBL Xtreme 4 has some very big upgrades to it, like a swappable battery, better sound, and Auracast. And in general, this is a super portable and loud speaker that is great to take to the beach or park with you. However, the JBL Xtreme 4 is a little pricey, especially when you compare it to either the Soundcore Boom 2 and especially the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus, which both give you a very big bang for your buck. Either way, if you're thinking about picking up the JBL Xtreme 4, or if you're thinking about picking up either the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus or even the Soundcore Boom 2, let's see which one's right for you. Regarding pricing, this can easily be a deciding factor for many people here. The JBL Xtreme 4 retails for $380, a little pricey if you ask me, whereas the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus retails for $250 and the Soundcore Boom 2 retails for $130, and both of Soundcore speakers routinely like to go on sale. Nonetheless, depending on your needs, you're going to be better off with one of these speakers over the other, so if you want to pick any of these speakers up, they will be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, link down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. Now first, there's the design of these speakers. Now all of these speakers are relatively small and easy to take on the go with you. However, both the Boom 2 and Xtreme 4 are noticeably smaller than the Boom 2 Plus. But the Boom 2 Plus is still relatively easy to take on the go with you because it is smaller than either the JBL Boombox 3 or Sony Ultifield 7. Plus, just like the Xtreme 4, the Boom 2 Plus does have a built-in shoulder strap so you can more easily carry it with you. But one thing the shoulder strap on the Xtreme 4 has over the Boom 2 Plus is that it has a built-in bottle opener, which I feel is a very nice touch and it's very convenient. But regarding durability, all of these speakers are waterproof and they all float in water, which is nice. However, the Xtreme 4 is more durable and it feels more premium because it has a mostly fabric wrap body, so it's going to do a better job of standing up to constant abuse from bumps and scrapes. Whereas these two Boom speakers have a mostly plastic body, which can get scratched easily. However, I don't mind the mostly plastic body on the Boom 2 Plus because this helps this speaker keep its weight down, thus making it easier to take on the go with you. But something that both Boom speakers have over the Xtreme 4 is that they both have built-in light features in their passive radiators, and I actually really like these light features because they're very dynamic. However, if you do decide to use these light features, that is going to take an additional toll on the battery life. Now when it comes to battery life on these speakers, the Boom 2 has an advertised battery life of 24 hours and the Boom 2 Plus has an advertised battery life of 20 hours. However, these advertised battery lives of 20 and 24 hours is with both of these speakers playing at 50% volume and with the light feature on these speakers turned on, but with the bass up feature on these speakers turned off. And 50% volume on the Boom 2 Plus is noticeably louder than 50% volume on the Boom 2. But real-world use with both of these speakers playing at 80% volume and with the light feature turned on and with the bass up feature turned on, both of these speakers are going to be good for around 6 to 7 hours of playback time. And just keep in mind, the Boom 2 Plus is going to get louder and is going to have more bass than the Boom 2. But then there's the JBL Xtreme 4, which has an advertised battery life of 24 hours. But this advertised battery life of 24 hours is with this speaker playing at 50% volume. But real-world use with this speaker playing at 80% volume is going to be good for around 14 hours of playback time. And 80% volume on the Xtreme 4 is going to be noticeably louder than 80% volume on the Boom 2. But 80% volume on the Boom 2 Plus is going to be significantly louder than 80% volume on the Xtreme 4. Now when it comes to charging these speakers, all of these speakers charge via a USB-C port, even the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus, which I feel is very impressive given its size. So you can charge any of these speakers with your phone charger. However, only the Xtreme 4 comes included with a proper charging cable, whereas with both Boom 2 speakers, you just get a USB-C to USB-C charging cable and you have to use your own wall adapter. However, one major upgrade on the Xtreme 4 over these other two speakers is that you can now fairly easily remove the battery in it. Now, I say that it's fairly easy because you do have to use an Allen wrench to remove the screws, and I feel that JBL use screws here to keep their IP67 rating instead of using a spring-loaded door like what's found on the PartyBox 320 or 120. But regardless, being able to fairly easily remove the battery in the Xtreme 4 means that this is either going to help extend the overall life of your speaker, or you can always get multiple batteries and just keep the party going, because the Xtreme 4 does use the same battery found in the PartyBox 320. Now, when it comes to ports, this USB-C port is the only port that you're going to find on the Xtreme 4, and unfortunately, the Xtreme 4 does not have an audio jack, and you can't use the speaker with a wired connection. However, you can use the USB-C port on the Xtreme 4 to charge your own devices, which I feel is great. And you can also use the USB-C port on the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus to charge your own devices too. But sadly, even though the Soundcore Boom 2 also charges via a USB-C port, you can't use its USB-C port to charge your own devices. Instead, the Boom 2 has a USB-A port, but I don't feel that this USB-A port is as useful as the USB-C port on these other two speakers, because most phones these days just come with USB-C to USB-C charging cables. And finally, the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus is the only speaker here that has an audio jack, so you can use it with a wired connection. Now, I don't mind that you can't use the Xtreme 4 with a wired connection, but I do feel that it is a shame that this speaker doesn't have an audio jack because it's just too expensive and too big to not have one. And finally, when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, all of these speakers can be connected to two devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ. However, latency is a bit of an issue for the Xtreme 4, so I do hope JBL fixes this through a future firmware update, because latency isn't an issue for other JBL speakers, but also latency is not an issue for either of these two Boom speakers, and both of these Boom speakers have support for SBC and AAC, whereas the Xtreme 4 only has support for SBC. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Regarding speaker setup, the Boom 2 has a single front-firing woofer, dual front-firing tweeters, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. But then there are the Xtreme 4 and Boom 2 Plus, which both have dual front-firing woofers, dual front-firing tweeters, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. Except on the Boom 2 Plus, it's larger. Now, with all of these speakers, you can always go in and adjust their EQ to your liking. However, with the Xtreme 4, if you use this speaker while it's plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of it. It's going to get louder and it's going to have more bass. Whereas with these other two Boom speakers, you don't get a performance increase. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. All of these speakers are playing at 75% volume while unplugged. The Xtreme 4 is using its stock EQ, and both Boom speakers are playing with their bass up feature turned on. So first off, when it comes to sound quality, the JBL Xtreme 4 has the best sound quality here because there is a lot more detail in the mids and it sounds a lot more open, thus giving you a much more realistic listening experience. Because with both of these boom speakers, yes, they have a lot of bass and having a lot of bass is fun, but their highs aren't as crisp and their mids aren't as detailed, and as a result, they can sound a little shallow when compared to the JBL Xtreme 4. And when it comes to max volume, the Boom 2 gets surprisingly loud for its size and price. However, the Xtreme 4 gets noticeably louder than the Boom 2. But the Boom 2 Plus gets a lot louder than the Xtreme 4, and that's to be expected because it's larger. Overall, I feel that the Boom 2 Plus is good for like a 12-person party, the Xtreme 4 is good for like a 10-person party, and the Boom 2 is good for like an 8-person party. But like I mentioned earlier, if you were to use the Xtreme 4 while it's plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of it. It's going to get louder and it's going to have more bass. And while it's plugged in, it does a decent job of keeping up with the Boom 2 Plus. However, the Boom 2 Plus is louder and its bass is a lot more impressive. Overall, both the Boom 2 and Boom 2 Plus get loud and they deliver a lot of bass. However, with the Xtreme 4, you are going to get better fidelity. But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, with all of these speakers, if you have two of the exact same speakers, then you can wisely pair them up and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. So your music is going to get louder and is going to sound more open because you have one speaker for your right channel and another speaker for your left channel. But both of these Soundcore speakers are using Soundcore's Auracast 2.0. So you can pair them up and get them to play in sync, and you can have up to 100 speakers playing together. And there are a few Soundcore speakers to choose from that are also using Auracast 2.0. But then there's the JBL Xtreme 4, which is using Auracast. So you can pair it up to other speakers that are also using Auracast, like either the Clip 5 or the Go 4, or you can wisely connect your Xtreme 4 up to JBL's Party Box speakers that are also using Auracast, like the Party Box 120, 320, or Ultimate, and you can get them to play in sync. But also, Auracast is backwards compatible, so you can pair your Xtreme 4 up to JBL's older speakers that are using Party Boost, like either a Boombox 3, a Boombox 2, an Xtreme 3, Charge 5, Pulse 5, or a Pulse 4, a Flip 5, or to a Flip 6, and you can get them to play in sync as well. However, if you're going to pair an Auracast speaker to an Auracast speaker, then all you have to do is just press the Auracast button on each of them and they'll connect. But if you're trying to connect an Auracast speaker to a Party Boost speaker, then you're going to have to connect them through JBL's app. Overall, both JBL and Soundcore have good speaker pairing protocols. However, JBL does give you a lot more options if you plan on growing your collection of speakers. But with all that being said, I personally really like both of these Soundcore Boom 2 and the Soundcore Boom 2 Plus because they give you a lot of value for your money. Both the Boom 2 and Boom 2 Plus get impressively loud for their size and price. They both have decent battery lives and they both have an impressive looking light feature, which I personally really enjoy. And for a lot of people, I feel that these will get the job done at a price that you can't be mad at. However, if you were to spring for the JBL Xtreme 4, you are going to get better fidelity in your music. It's going to feel more premium and durable, and you're going to have a much longer lasting battery. But also, thanks to the Xtreme 4's fairly easy to remove battery, you can either get multiple batteries and keep the party going, or you can always swap out the battery when your battery eventually dries up, and that's going to prolong the overall life of your speaker and investment. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.